What are pimples? How to prevent pimples? Hi, welcome to informative videos. First, if you are new in our channel, please consider subscribing and click notification bell for our future new informative videos. Thank you. Now, let's start. How to prevent pimples are usually the first major problem and concern of adolescents. During the period of maturity, pimples commonly seen on several exposed parts of the human body like the face, shoulder, neck and even on the back. Most often than not, pimples are considered a nightmare and it even affects the sociability of an individual, especially the youth. They often ask solution, force themselves to listen to statements and even utilize the vast world of the internet just to know information how to prevent pimples from increasing. During the earlier years of clinical studies regarding pimples, experts have concluded some points on the nature of this phenomenal case. But what are pimples actually? How to prevent pimples from emerging in the epidermal layer? Pimples are unusual inflammations or even swelling on the epidermal layers. They are usually varied in sizes as there are big and smaller pimples. Usually, pimples have proven by dermatological experts that they emerged on the skin due to irritation to some environmental elements like dust. Dust can easily cause pimple to emerge because this is a very harmful and irritable element. When dust enters the holes on the outermost layering of the skin called epidermis, it will block the holes and eventually irritate the interior and more delicate parts that cause it to swell and inflame. Knowledge on how to prevent pimples from dust is important. Another proven medical cause of pimples is through the casting off attempts of the dead epidermal covering. Casting off attempts of the epidermis will be failed due to excessive production on a specific gland, known as the sebaceous gland. The sebaceous gland functions as a lubricator of the skin as it produces and eventually secretes oils to different parts of the body. Some parts of the human body often experience excessive and overproduction of oils, especially on the chest region, some parts of the face, specifically between the nasal region and all over the facial part of the human body. The produced oil of the sebaceous gland will pass through the follicular region or tiny pathways up to the outermost part of the skin or epidermis. Originally, the oil cycle secreted by the sebaceous gland stored up in the most endodermic part of the skin. Germs and dirt can lead to irritation of the endodermic part of the skin, and this will eventually cause pimple to appear. Pimples contain jelly substance known as pus. Pus is an embarrassing thing that should be casted off, so as to reduce casting off dry skin. Who are very prone to pimples? Of course, people vary in different ways. Simple things will make him different from others. Variations in sizes, muscular build, and even pimple can make somebody differs from others. Oftentimes, pimple-free face is a subject of envious to many, especially for girls regardless of age. It is nothing but an ordinary concern for youths in their early maturity and development in dealing with pimples. But who usually gets easily affected with pimples? Is it a special case for a specific age group? Actually, it is not and will never be. It's very hard to admit the connotation of millions that if pimple attacks somebody's face or back or wherever part of the body, and then it only signifies that the person who has pimples is unhygienic. Well, this is always wrong because pimples can be into everybody. Having pimples is associated with different human bodily functions. Example, people who are prone to pimples are experiencing the so-called hormonal imbalance. It is proven since the early clinical studies on pimples that the human body can be a cause of these unwanted things. Clinical analysis as well as data statistical analysis revealed that excessive production of sebum or oil through the sebaceous gland can cause zits or commonly known as pimples. Bacterial association with these produced oils is also involved because it is quite a very suitable flora for them to be in the oil purse. Adolescents are the most prone to pimples. As they mature, their human systems as well as their hormones begin to develop and even functions abnormal. Teens are known to be aggressive in all things and activities that cause some of the hormones to undergo into extra functions. When bacterium propionibacterium enters into the scene, it will further develop into severe case called acne. In this stage of the case, preventing pimple is almost about to due. That's the only time for them to realize the question how to prevent pimples and pimple-associated problems. Medical substances that prevent pimples. How to prevent pimples is the usual question being asked by pimpled people. Trying to browse on the wide world of the internet, tips are every here and there, and those always booms the net. But everybody should be very careful in dealing with this simple yet critical question. Preventing pimple is like an open wound treatment. Wrong choice of medication will lead to further irritation of the pimple, and the probability of turning into acne is very high. Pimple prevention includes different products, either naturally or chemically made. There are lots of drugs specially formulated on how to prevent pimple. Specially formulated cosmetic drugs, created, approved and regularized by groups of dermatological experts, are available over the net. One way on how to prevent pimple effectively is through eliminating different kinds of bacteria through increasing the human body's immunity defenses. Prevent pimple also by trying to decline the excessive production of sebum and swelling. Lactoferrin is a well-studied and researched substance that can help to prevent pimples. It is tested and approved by concerned authorities that this substance out from milk millions of active biological ingredients has something to do in order to prevent pimples. This substance created a very innovative and sophisticated aspect in the world of dermatological science, as this effectively eliminates and totally prevent pimples through its unusual bacterial elimination mechanisms and antimicrobial effects. This also helps in achieving a perfect skin complexion, as it helps in tissue repair and closure due to sloughing off. Thank you. Please click subscribe for fresh informative videos.